Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Craft the World. And on this episode, we are going to continue right where we left off. Now, I was actually going to come up here and harvest some of this wood off camera in between episodes, but then I looked at the clock and I saw that, you know, we only have like less than 4 minutes before the wave shows up. And I do tend to want to show those. I've actually always showed them. But the reason behind it mainly is because those things can be, you know, level changing. Depending on what happens on the wave, could dramatically change what you spend all your time doing in between this one and the next one, because they can be so severe. So you definitely want to make sure that you're ready for them. And we got all our traps down, but there's no guarantee. They could start sending flying creatures in, and we're very protected right now, but if they bust through that ceiling, we don't really have a lot of traps down there. We could use a little bit more, actually, to be honest. But I think overall, we're probably going to be fine. But I do like to show it because every wave can be something different. I believe that there's only a certain number of mobs that will spawn, depending on your level. But the type of those mobs sometimes differ. Sometimes when I have like 12 or 13 dwarves, I'll have wave after wave after wave with no gargoyles. And then all of a sudden I'll get a wave that has a whole bunch of gargoyles or has one group of them. Sometimes I have 3 or 4. Usually will increase the more often you'll get those gargoyles, at least on the last level, as you got higher and higher in level. But even with that increase, there was still like a random factor to it. So you could think you're ready, and then all of a sudden you get something you didn't think was coming, and it completely changes what you gotta do. Like, you gotta start concentrating on putting those traps back down, which means you have to concentrate on wood gathering, or you got to go and concentrate on getting the mithril, the last few pieces of gold or something, so you can build that Tesla tower. And you're stuck up here, aren't you? That's one of the downsides to putting portals up here, is it seems like unless you're paying very, very close attention, I usually leave at least one dwarf behind. I think on the last episode we lost 4 dwarfs that were staying up here for who knows how long after the portal had closed. And sometimes they're quite dwarvish, where they will stand here just sightseeing, just taking a break, why the portal just ticks down a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It could be 16 minutes on there, and they're just standing there, you know, sightseeing. They're not doing anything. So yeah, it is definitely one of those things where it's kind of annoying when that happens, and somebody will get left up here, and it seems like that's what their intention was, that somebody would get left up there, or the portal will be closing and they will wait to the very last moment. I kid you not, the very last moment before they go up. You know, there won't be anybody there, and you're like, okay, everything's safe, I can walk away. So unless you stay there the whole time, for every second that portal is open, you will occasionally lose somebody up there. And they're not dead. Well, I guess they could die if they starve to death, but hopefully you don't leave them up there that long. That would be kind of embarrassing. So let's do a few more steel axes. There we go. That should actually level us up right there. And I do want to make some more of the leather armor, but we just don't have enough leather. We need to attack more of those little creatures, and I always tend to leave them alone. So we do have some leather. We might as well put that on some of our guys. Let's see. You have gold. You have gold. You need leather. There we go. And you could use a little bit of leather as well. What about back here? You could use a better pickaxe, right? Steel. And you got iron, yes. You're going to get a better pickaxe. You're also going to get a better axe. I don't know really if you're going to be a lumber or not, somebody who can chop down. But we're going to give it to you anyways. You're a miner hunter. Yeah, you're going to get one anyways. Let's see. And the axes, go ahead and upgrade those as well. Anybody who has pretty good armor should get the good axes and stuff like that. You actually don't even have an axe. Yeah, we need to fix that. You can get a good pickaxe. You know, I mean, you have decent armor now, but not anywhere near as good as it could be. And what about you? You have the same stuff. Anybody not have an axe? You don't have an axe. What about that? That's it. Everybody is very well equipped. And all I really have to do is wait for them to make the stuff down here, which I can help them out with a portal. And I do got to be very, very careful, because that is going to be one of my last portals for a while. Because I just don't have very much magic left. And we do have a wave incoming in about 42 seconds, so I kind of wish I could tell them to lock down inside and still make stuff in here, and occasionally they will do that, but occasionally they will just like freeze in place and won't do anything until you let them go out from lockdown. So It's kind of unfortunate when that happens. Let's actually put them on lockdown right now before they get attacked and see what happens. Yeah, see these guys over here, they're like, no, I'm done. I don't have anything to do. There he goes. Now they're leaving. What about down here? Will they go down here? Yep, they sure are. They're coming down here to help out. Now, instead of making my pickaxes, they're deciding to make the glass just to kind of annoy me. And that, if you remember right, I went ahead and made, or told them to make quite a bit of it because we had some of the resources for it. And yeah, 32. Now they're going to sit there and make that until they're blue in the face because I can't tell them to make the other stuff. And it seems like it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it seems like it would be very useful to have a way to give them a priority on like what to make first. Other than the fact that you gave it to them first, I guess maybe that's what they're going after. Oh, we got gargoyles. Holy crap, guys. This is the first wave we're getting gargoyles. And I kid you not, I did not know they were coming when I started to talk about them. I was just remembering them because they're one of my favorite characters in this entire thing. They're just really, really cool. We're going to go to... Actually, why they're coming down, let's see. We're not at firearms yet. We still need a lot of iron and stuff for these. So we're going to... I don't think we can get it done in time. Yeah, we don't have enough rope. And do we have any wool? We actually do. Nice. So we could make some of that stuff. Let's see. We'll make some bows and some wooden staffs maybe, because now we have the glass to do it. Okay, that might be good. But we do need some bows because we do have quite a few archers that already have skill in that. So we'll double click on that to put that down twice. Some rope. We'll put that down as well. And then we will do the steel. Nice. So we'll do 3 of those. Now let's see, what else can we make? We're going to make some of these as well. So we'll put that in there, double click, go to the glass. All you got to do is click on the resource. It will take you to the right page. It didn't used to do that, so use it, guys, because it's definitely useful. And we'll make 8 of those. Not that we really need them, at least not that many, but it's nice to have a few extras, and it levels us up as well. What about these things? I don't know, guys. That's really expensive, and I don't really... I don't know. I don't think we want to spend it on that. Yeah, I think we're going to hold off, and we'll probably just get enough wood to do these over and over and over again, because glass is fairly inexpensive as well. Come on, guys. Go down. Go die by my traps. Well, you can see them. They kind of juke back and forth, while the other ones are falling down. It makes sense that there's more than one little area for them to fall down in, but it kind of looks on like this two-dimensional screen that they're falling right through them, which in reality they're probably crawling, you know, behind them or in front of them. But you know, because it looks like this, it kind of seems like they should take damage when they fall like that. There they go. Yes, you're destroying all my traps, but still, I mean, and half of them are actually missing you. And these guys are getting a free ride because they're able to go so far because the other ones, the traps were already sprung. Holy crap, is he destroying the trap? No, he's destroying the dirt. Okay. I thought he was destroying the trap. I was like, oh, that's going to be a problem if they've gotten to the intelligent point where they can destroy traps. Because that's my whole defense right there, right now. I don't have anything else other than my dwarves, and I don't think they're really capable of doing it. Let's see. Hopefully, because they're damaged enough, they can do something here. But even if they do make it to my base, these big guys won't be able to go anywhere because this is only 1 high, which I think is why they try to dig in here, because it's a very, very short fall rather than over here where it's kind of long. I should get rid of this because they may decide to dig in right here, and this would be like one of the worst spots for them to really fall in here. My whole thing would be exposed, and I don't really want to do that. I do want them to kill this guy, but I don't want them to tell them to do it because then they'll stop doing everything else that they're doing. And we do need to make some more traps as well. Not enough wood. Dang it, man. We need so much wood to get to those weapons. I hope you guys appreciate how much wood we need to get there, because I definitely want to check it out just as much as you guys, but this is like, it takes it over. Like, this is the whole last 3 episodes just trying to get to that point. What do we want to make here? We could make quite a few of those. Is that what I already have down? Yeah, I already have a whole bunch of those down. And even just having something different, even though it's made out of the same stuff, will probably be an improvement in their happiness. Otherwise, they'd be like, I'm tired of that. I'm not eating any more of that stuff. And, yep, we can put all that down right there. Who's getting attacked? You guys are still taking this guy on? Wow, he just wiped the floor with him. I love that. He just walked in and be like, nope, this is not going to happen. You're going to die. One hit. I mean, his friend did all the work for him, and he comes in basically and takes the credit. Any of my dwarves up here? If you zoom out all the way, you can see the heads of the dwarves as your guys, so you can kind of glance at the screen and see where the enemies are or where you need to go. The trees. There's really no good spot that has a lot of trees other than over here maybe. But there's an enemy as well. A lot of trees though right there. That's a decent amount. This is a decent amount as well. So we might just come over here. Go ahead and grab some of these trees. We definitely need the wood. And it's only because we've been chopping down so much that he is not happy with that. Can I pick that stuff back up? No, I guess I can't. Can I give him some traps? I guess I gave him a trap. How dare you come to these lands? I'm going to kill that punk one day. I am going to kill this guy just to see what happens. Now, I know he's hard, so I'm going to stay away from him for now. But I hope he really is as hard as you guys say he is, because if he's not, I'm going to be kind of disappointed that I stayed away from him as long as I did. Because he should die. He should die really bad. So let's go ahead and put some of these... yeah, because it's empty in here, so we can go ahead and put some of these beds down. They're really, really nice. Put that there. I guess this is not part of my base. Let's go ahead and pick that up then. How far does it go? Just right there. Dang. I even have a bed over here that is a really nice bed, but it's not part of my base either. And that's why my comfort rating is only 37. Because it's just, I don't have enough of these things. I want more. I need more of these things, and I can't make any more right now. To my knowledge, I don't get that until what stage? Where are they? Wow. All the way over here to Master Furnishings. So, yeah, a decent amount of time. I don't even think I want to really look forward to that. Like, that's so far away. Because, yeah, I'm over here at the firearms because I kind of skip past all the stuff at the top. But if you go all the way back to where I'm actually at, I'm back over here on, like, advanced construction. You know? Like, I got to do all of this stuff to open up all the stuff over here for farming and the fences. And I'm really far behind on a lot of the stuff that I need, especially, like, this wooden tower would really come in handy, I think, if I used it effectively. But I want to get these weapons. I kind of want to get some of this expert armor. And I could even... No, I can't even get to expert armor. I can only get to weapons. And then I have to go back and get all the way to weaving, which will take some doing. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. As far as the health elixirs, they're very, very, very useful, guys, during fights. So if I can skip by some stuff... In fact, I can just do the top row after I get past basic stoneworking, and just do cooking and then all the way to alchemy. So yeah, I could do that. And the minions are really, really good to get too. So you can kind of see after playing it a little while, you kind of learn the things that you enjoy getting the most, the fastest, and you can kind of skip by some of the stuff and get it as soon as possible. I guess I should get over here to this Chin armor pretty soon too. What about the... I can't even make that yet, can I? Why can't I make that? Oh, because I haven't finished this stuff over here. I do want to do a little bit of scout. I don't have the wood to spare right now. It's going to have to wait. That's what I always say. Like, I look at the stuff and I'm like, this is something I need, this is something I need. And then I'm like, no, it uses all the other stuff that I need for things that are far more important. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. I guess we're going to come over here. I need the wood too much. And this one little guy standing over here in my way is not going to deter me. So, hopefully my guys can take him. He's not the big guy. He's medium size. And, yeah, they're still tough. But they're not nearly as tough as, say, this guy right here with the armor on. This is a big guy. This guy kind of reminds me of like anybody who played Warhammer 40K, whether it's the actual like board game type game, or if you played, you know, the online version, or any one of the Command & Conquer style games that they had out that I absolutely love to play. That guy kind of reminds me of like the dwarves. You know, big guy. Everybody on every side always got somebody special, and that one kind of reminds me of theirs. As far as like the looks go, I don't know about their actual fighting style. I don't think I ever paid attention to it that much. And I only ever played with the little action figures, or whatever you call them, models, a few times. My brother was the one who was really into those, and I went out and I got a set so I could play with them and stuff. And it's... Oh, I don't have enough power. Crap. I hope you guys can get out of here. Otherwise, it's a long run back. And it's a dangerous one too, so you probably won't. How much time? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? Yeah, you're gonna have to walk. That sucks. But yeah, I never really got that good at the game, but it was really fun. I did enjoy it. And then, of course, when the Command & Conquer style games came out, I greatly enjoy those kind of like Warcraft, Command & Conquer, Dune, any of those RTSs. There was one that I played with like Marines and Aliens, something Wind. I can't think of the name of that one. That was like an old one too. But any of those type of games I really, really like. They don't come out with them very often, unfortunately. And the last Command & Conquer game, I can't even say how much I was disappointed with that. The stupid online crap where you had... I hate games, really, guys, that don't need to be online, but are online because they're worried about people ripping them off. Not all of us can always be online all the time. And a lot of the time I play games... you could be sitting in an airport, you could be doing something, you know, at a friend's house or something like that, and you want to play a quick little game on your laptop or something while you're waiting for people to get back. You don't have internet on you at the moment, so you play a little, you know, small game. Even sometimes if you're, you know, out of town and you're on a business trip or something like that, and you're in the hotel room and you take your laptop with you, you could still play a game like Call of Duty or Mass Effect or something along those lines and still have a really good time playing games, even though you're not at home, because you don't have to be online. And yeah, most hotels have, you know, online capabilities nowadays, but I really, really hate it when they force it down your throat where it doesn't necessarily have to be there, you know? Like, it's not something that makes the game possible. Like, if it's an MMO, well, yeah, it has to be online because it's a massive multi-online game. You know, it's in the title, but you know, when I play Mass Effect, that's not an online game. It would be really, really cool if it was, and it does have online capabilities where you can go on there and do multiplayer, but you can play the regular game, the campaign mode, without being online. And Command & Conquer games had always been that way, and the game itself had nothing to do with being online. They really just decided to do that so that it would make it really hard for people to hack them, they thought, and get the game for free. And in the end, people who are going to steal your game are going to find a way to steal your game. There's nothing anybody has ever come out with to stop people from doing that. But you just tick off the rest of us who actually paid for the game and now are having to deal with like all these issues, because if you think about long term, I still go back and I play some really old games sometimes. I was just playing Zeus the other day. Zeus is like from the 1993 or 4 or something like that, 96 maybe, in that region. The game company, I believe, was bought by another game company, and that game company was bought by somebody else, and now it's just a department of, they can use the title and collect money from the royalties and stuff like that, but the company itself really isn't there anymore, and so they're not providing support for it. And if it was one of these things that have to be online, if you think about a game like that in 10 or 15 years down the road, you literally won't be able to play it because they don't have a server that connects the game to be playable. So anybody who bought that copy, anybody who bought that game will just be out of luck. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no way to play it unless you get a hack copy, which again defeats the whole purpose. You're literally promoting people to go out and get a hack copy, because if they followed the rules and got the copy you wanted them to get, they can't play anymore. And it just seems like you knew that was going to happen, or you were so I don't know, guys. It just seems like one of those things that nobody wins on it, and you're not going to stop people from doing things that they really want to do. The best thing you can do is just appeal to your fans. Like, for me, anyways, maybe other people out there are different, but for me, if a game is really good, I will go out and I will buy things about the game, like action figures and things of that sort, to support the game manufacturer, because I find the game so enjoyable. And I know the more money that they make, the more chances they will be likely to actually make another one. And I enjoy the game so much, I want to see that happen. Or if I just enjoy the game, then I'll just buy the game, play it, because I'll watch videos first and see if the game looks interesting or not. And if it looks interesting, then I'll go out and I'll get it. I'll try it out, and if I really like it, I'll talk, to my friends about it and be like, hey, that was a good game, or I'll talk well about it, and maybe other people will hear that. But I won't go out and buy action figures and stuff like that. It really has to be a really good game that I'll do that. But I support the artists and publishers that I enjoy playing, because I remember in the 80s, growing up with video games, if the game came out and it didn't do very well, that was it. You weren't getting another chance. You weren't going to get another RTS game for like 15 years because the last one didn't do very well. It didn't matter if the game sucked, because they didn't know what they were doing. It's just in their head they saw that, oh, nobody nobody bought the last one, so the series, the genre, must not be good enough. And that's not the case, but nowadays when you find a game manufacturer that plays and has the same style and feel of games that you really enjoy, you can support them directly. You can literally donate money directly to their company, and they will produce games, and they'll tell you like step by step what they're doing, and they release early copies to you and things like that. I think that's amazing. I think that is the best thing for video games that has ever come out, because it allows people to get the games that they really like. And there's so many different kinds of people out there that everybody should have whatever the strange style of gameplay is for you. And I say strange, it's not really strange, it's just everybody has something different. There's people out there who like RTSs, there are people out there who like horror games. I'm not really big into horror movies, and I've never really played a horror game, but I'm going to for October, for Halloween. I'm going to do like a 30 days or 31 days or whatever it is for October, counting up to Halloween and stuff. So I think that will be kind of fun. And the games that I don't have that are Halloween, there's certain areas in some of the games I can go to that have this not Halloween vibe, but like a horror vibe, a little bit different than the regular areas. So I'm gonna try to spend my time in those parts of the world and just try to give off, like with Terratech, I was gonna do a bot that looks like a jack-o'-lantern or something like that. I haven't really figured out what I want to do with that one yet, but something along those lines, just to give that feel, because I was sitting here thinking how much enjoyable this game would be if they did stuff like Ratchet & Clank did, where in Ratchet & Clank, for those of you who've never played the game on the, I think it was the PlayStation 2, maybe PlayStation 3, one of the games, I think it was the original game that it came out with, they had a museum in one of the levels. And the museum was all sealed off, and it looked really cool. You could see it from the windows and stuff, and you're like, oh, that looks really cool. Somebody somehow figured out that you could actually go inside the museum, but only on a certain day at a certain time. And the time was like at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I forgot what the day was, but it was very specific. And I'm like, that's kind of cool, because one, somebody found that out. Somebody probably either got told by or got hinted by one of the producers of the game, one of the designers, or somebody just happened upon that. And I like to think of the happening upon it more than anything else, because I find that fascinating, that something so random, so out of like left field would actually happen. And I believe it could, like with so many people out there, it is possible now for something like that to happen. And that's why I like it in video games, because when I was playing, people played video games in the 80s and the 90s. Obviously, that's why they're around, because people enjoyed them, but not to the extent that they do now. Like, there's so many more people playing video games now than there ever was before, guys. I kid you not. And the people who are playing are completely different from the people who used to be playing. It used to be, people in like their 30s to 40s that were kind of getting into computers, and now like a lot of younger people are growing up with computers. In fact, I think of my nephew. He can barely even talk right now, and he is a professional cell phone user. I mean, he sits there and he'll swipe through stuff. He does things better on the cell phone than I do, because I gotta be truthful, guys. I don't use mine that much. GPS occasionally, and a few little game apps here and there to keep me occupied when I'm sitting somewhere where I don't have anything to do, or on the bus or something like that. If I'm taking a trip somewhere, I can put some music on it or something like that. But overall, not something I use all that much. So it is kind of, funny to see him such an expert at it, because it just blows me away that he can do what he can do with it. And a lot of kids are growing up with that technology, and a lot of them are playing these video games, and it's changing the video games, because obviously the producers are producing what the fans want, what the people who are willing to buy the games want. And so you're going from a lot of these games that are kind of really intense with the details, because that's what some older generations wanted. They were used to playing like the D&D like me. I'm used to playing like Dungeons and Dragons in the basement and stuff like that. And you get very, very technical with the details, because that's where the enjoyment is, and the enjoyment of losing yourself in the role-playing aspect of it. But the newer generation, they never really had that experience, because they've had video games, and that's where they get the same kind of enjoyment from. Like, they get to lose themselves in the graphics and the storyline of the game, and it's very, very cool in that regard, but it's very different, and so the games are coming out differently as well, and I'm loving the direction it's taking. Like, it's very fluid, and it goes where people want it to go, and I think if you can keep that that model in your business, then you're really going to do very well, because the people will tell you what they want, and if you give them what they want, they won't be upset about it, and for the most part, I mean, some people just can't be made happy, and when you give them what they want, they ask for more, and they always ask for more, and I'm one of those people, unfortunately. As you guys can see when I do these video games, they will do something in a patch, and I'm like, yes, that's cool, and immediately upon saying, yeah, that is cool, I'll be like, you know what would be even cooler? Yeah, and I'm not satisfied with what they had done completely, and that's just something about my own personality, but I still appreciate it. Like, I still enjoy, all the stuff that they get to in the new stuff that they put down, but I'm always thinking, like, as a writer, like I said, my mind goes off on different tangents, and I'm like, what would that have been like if they had gone down that path? Or same thing with video games, like, what would be the end outcome if they had done this instead of that, or what if they added that, and so my mind is always thinking of, like, how to better it, basically. And I don't know, some people may find that as a negative. I find it as just expanding my imagination in different paths, and maybe the game will go in that direction, maybe it won't. And if it does, I like to see if I was right or if I was wrong. And a lot of the time, I'm neither. I'm both. I mean, sometimes they go off in a direction that I anticipated, and other times they go off in that direction in a unexpected way that was completely, catches me off guard. But yet they went off in that direction. So I'm like, okay, well, I was kind of right that that's what they were going to do, but not completely. And so it's very cool to do that. I like to do that. You guys will have to let me know if you enjoy that part of these commentary let's plays, or if you're just like, no, stop being so hard on them. They're doing the best they can, and like I said, I completely and totally agree. They are doing a fantastic job, and this level is just proof of that, because this level didn't exist. The third level didn't exist when I started this game, and both of those levels have been so much better than the one before it. Not that those were bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just keeps getting better and better and better, and yeah, I'm just loving the new content that they've thrown in here, and the interaction that I have with these dwarves is just classic. Sometimes they push my buttons so easily. It's hilarious that I can let these little pixels get to me as much as they do, but at the same time, like, it's very frustrating to deal with their dwarvism, because I hate calling them stupid, but they are definitely hard to work with sometimes. And I think if they gave you the option of, like, fire dwarves other than killing them, I would probably do that more often. Like, I'd be like, you're fired, get out of here. I don't ever want to see you as a miner again. Go concentrate on harvesting wood or something else. Don't ever show your face here again, because some of them are that bad. But they don't really give you that ability. And for those of you, I wish I had, like, a webcam up, because I was sitting there pointing at the finger as I was doing that, like, you've been a bad boy or something like that. And it's I'm completely crazy, guys. I do apologize, but I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's really, really interesting to see what these imaginary characters can do to you, because they're so I won't say like lifelike, but they do instill certain emotions that the programmers obviously knew that they were going to, and that's a good thing about telling a story, is that you can evoke those emotions in a way that you meant to, like not by accident, but because you actually meant to do it, and it shows the skill level of the people involved. So let's replace this stone here. And the reason I'm replacing stone is, well, stone's worth more to me than dirt. Like, I think dirt is dirt, it's not something I need. Now let's replace this as well. And I like to do the replacing of the back first, just because if you do the front, you can't do the back. Like, there might be stone back here, but I can replace the roots. So we're gonna do that. Yes, we are. We want that. All of those. And man, I have so little power. I need to build up some power here soon. Although I'm pretty close to leveling, actually. Well, a lot closer than I have been. If I get another couple of waves here, that should probably do it. Let me come over here and check out this guy. He's still unhappy. I wonder if I can take stuff down. I guess I can't take anything down, huh? What if I give him some food? That kind of sucks that once you put something down, you can't exchange it for something else, because I guess, once he tells you he doesn't like it, that's one thing, but once you know he doesn't like it, you'd be like, oh, okay, my god's unhappy, let me get you something else, please, right? Like, Please don't blow the volcano and kill all of us. We'll get you another, you know, virgin sacrifice or whatever it is, like in the movies. If it gets to that point, I don't know if you can sacrifice a dwarf. Like, can you go over there on an altar and be like, oh, like the robes and stuff, and they do this whole ritual? I don't think I'd do that. Like, that would be just creepy beyond belief. Like, that would be crazy. That would be like hardcore version of this game where you had to like sacrifice your dwarves, and you would be sitting here during the gameplay, especially with as fast as that comes back. You'd be clicking on these guys and be like, okay, Baron, you've been around for a little long time. You might be a little old. We might give some of the new generation a chance. Or you'd be like, you're pretty young and you're pretty inexperienced, and I want to keep the guy who has all the points, so maybe it's your turn to be sacrificed this time. I mean, you would have to sit there and think about that. And how disturbing would that be to have to like make that choice? That's not something I'd really want to put into the game, but you know, I could see them doing it in like an evil horror, you know, Halloween episode or something like that of the game, which is what I was kind of talking about, is if they could throw in some holiday stuff, maybe have little Santa hats on if you're playing this game during wintertime, during Christmas time, or maybe have some cloaks on these guys instead. Just throw a black cloak on them and make them look like death. I think they already move and they have the shape of you know, a specter if they just kind of threw a cloak on it, and that would just be a change in their skin to be able to do that. That shouldn't be too difficult. And these guys, of course, you could just give them like Santa hats or something like that, and maybe give them a weapon that's a candy cane. I mean, it's pretty easy, I think, to kind of throw that in there, and I love when they do that because it really brings you back to the game and says, hey, maybe I should go back and play that game during Christmas time because it's a little different, and I like that game quite a bit, and I want to see what that looks like. It brings people back, and it's not something that a lot of games really take advantage of, unfortunately. MMOs definitely do. If you're playing an MMO, you almost guaranteed know exactly what I'm talking about, because they do that every single holiday they get a chance on. Valentine's Day, they will have something for Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, every day that you can possibly think of. And of course, I'm nailing off American holidays. If you're playing on a server or a game that's not primarily you know, made by the United States or Americans in general, I'm pretty sure you guys will probably have holidays on your stuff. It seems synonymous with MMOs in general to have that stuff in there. Although I've never really played on like a Japanese server or something like that. I don't speak Japanese, so it'd be very, very hard for me to actually figure out what the crap I'm doing unless I'm very familiar with the game. Like, I could play EverQuest 2 on pretty much any language server and still have a fairly good idea about what I'm supposed to be doing, whether I need to read the quest or not. Like, I know that game so well that that wouldn't be an issue for me. But other games, I wouldn't know that well, and you know, at some point you got to be able to understand what they're saying. So that's why I've never done it. I'm sure that's why people who speak other languages have never done it either. But let's see, can we put, I guess we're going to put some of these ladders down for now just to help them out. I did want to wait until I got to the iron ones, but it's just taking too long. Let's see, what do we need to work on? We need more wooden staffs. What about this, grinding stones? Can we make some grinding stones? So we just need stone. Don't really have a lot of iron, although there's a couple places on the map we could harvest it. Let's see, how much can we get out of that? Not enough. I think that might actually level us, to be honest. But let's see, can we make one more weapon just to be sure? We don't have enough of that. We do have enough of this, so we'll make 2 more of those. Okay, and that should definitely level us up for sure. And they need to come down. Where do they need to come down? Over here? I don't even have enough power for that. Let's do some dirt down here. We'll seal this in. Not that you have to, but I kind of like doing it. It gives it a nice little look. Let's seal that up. We'll come over here. Let's put these down right here. I'm going to go ahead and expand this. I don't know what I'm going to use this area for yet, but I like having the space because eventually we will use it for something. Probably like statues or something, because this seems like a big spot. Usually you don't have it this high. Like 2 high is usually good enough for you. 3 high is ideal in case you have like these big, you know, pieces of workbenches and stuff, and you want to have a light up here on the third level. But remember, if you go up to 3 high, you're going to need some kind of scaffolding, because they're not going to be able to get up there without standing on something. They can only chop the block they're on and the block above and the block below. So unless you come down from the top, you're going to need the scaffolding. And then when you go back and put stuff there, you're going to need the scaffolding anyway. So holy crap, guys. We have our gun stuff. We can finally get our guns. Holy crap. The gun muzzle. A major component of a firearm. So do we have to make each and every single one of the pieces before we can make the pistol? We do. We need the barrel, the muzzle, and we need the trigger mechanism. We also need a little bit of planks, which is a fair bit of wood. We also need some steel and gunpowder. Now, where do we get gunpowder? Sulfur. That is where we're gonna have to go looking for sulfur. But we're actually gonna end it here on this this high note, guys. We are finally on the next episode. We are gonna concentrate on building our guns. This is going to be, you know, freaking awesome. I can't wait until we get to work. Let me go back real quick. Let me see. What did the gun do? Where is it at? So the pieces are in one area and the gun's in another. Let's see. This firearm is effective at close distances but lacking in firepower. Damage 20, accuracy 85%, and distance 3. So 20, 85, 3. 20, 85, 3. So it has less damage than the new bow, but it has a higher accuracy rate at a shorter distance than this one. So I guess they both still have their uses. What about this one? 20, 85, 3. So it's a little bit better than the wooden bow, but you have to get way past the wooden bow before you even get the ability to do that. You had to get the longbow at least. What about the staff? It's definitely better damage than the staff, but shorter distance. Of course, the staff does ricochet from one enemy to the other once you get to a higher level with it. So I don't know. Is that really even worth it? We're definitely going to try it. We're definitely getting that stuff, but I don't know if it's really going to be worth it. Wasn't there some different kind of ammo that I could make with it, or is that later on? Let me look at that real quick, guys. I think that you could actually make different kind of ammo. There it is right there. Steel ammo. That's going to be really costly on the iron, I bet, going through as much as they go through. And there's the rifle. And I hope the rifle is good. Although, the rifle comes into play right when you get your new wizard staff. And, oh man, because like your wizard staff is really good at that point. And do you get a better bow? No, there's no better bows over here. I guess at this point, the better bow is your rifle. And that probably will come into play at this point and be like, oh, okay, it's actually pretty good. What about over here? This is when you get your heavy bow, the best one in the game as far as bows go. Yeah, nothing else seems to have changed other than substance transformation. This is going to be interesting to see because this is not something they've ever had in any of the other levels or any of the other expansions or the patches that they had. So this would be fairly cool to see what it takes to make iron, what it takes to make silver, and things of that sort. What is this last one? The lead paint. A high-powered rifle? Yeah. Incendiary ammo. So I have to get through my master weapons. I have to get through my mithril stuff before I can make this. This better be epic. This better be so friggin' powerful because this stuff is hard to get through. It's hard to even get to it because you don't have enough mithril most of the time. So the fact that you have to get through this entire thing just to get this stuff and then still probably use a buttload of mithril to make it is going to be really costly. So I hope it's worth it on that one. But again, guys, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to leave comments down below. I love to hear back from you guys, and I will catch you next time.